Where's Mummy?
It's Dawn here from the board, and I'm talking to absolutely nobody right now because this is a very impromptu stream. I had a bit of time today, I guess, because it's Easter. I want to say a happy Easter to everybody and Good Friday if you, I suppose, follow the particular holiday and traditions. And if you don't and you have a public holiday like I do here in Australia, then of course I hope you have a great day. The weather here right now in Sydney is really fantastic, but since it's a public holiday, lots of places are closed and whatnot, I just felt like doing a bit of a live stream. I've actually got a bunch of things that I've been hanging off on doing just because of time and constraints and my little germ factory here, which makes it challenging these days to actually do soldering and building. So now is a good opportunity to do stuff for non-soldering while she's at home, whereas over the next couple of days, if she's got daycare, then I might be able to build something. And hello Doom, welcome to my very impromptu live stream. So let's just switch over to the desktop and what we've got going at the moment. So right now there's nothing here, but what I'm going to be going through today is I'm going to be opening up a box courtesy of our friend and fan Mitenale, and then I'm going to be having a look at what I ended up with in the Signature Plastics grab bag, Pimp My Keyboards grab bag. Might do a little bit of light sorting, and today I'm actually going to be also giving away two of our merchandise badges. So I've got a little form for those people who are actually watching this live stream. Now I've got the link, and let's see if that works. So anybody who's joining the live stream and you head into the chat, there's a little form there that you can fill out your details. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw one randomly from the list of entrants, and then I'm going to draw one against a number generator. So whoever gets closest to the number generator that didn't win from the random name draw will also be able to win one of these two lapel pins that we got. So if you haven't seen these before, there's some pictures on Instagram, and I also did a very short review video on the YouTube channel, so you can check them out at your leisure. But it's a very simple but a good quality looking and feeling pin. So there you go. So make sure you head over to that link that I put into the chat if you're watching this live, and at the end I will close off the form and then we can do the draws, and then hopefully those people I can get hold of somehow. Naturally that means you kind of have to wait, because if I draw you and you aren't actually there at the end, then I'm not going to be able to get your details from you, unless if you want to leave your details in the form. But if you leave your details under the name, when I show it to do the draw, it means everyone's going to see your email address or stuff like that. So just be careful. It's up to you what information you want to put on that form, but it will be shown on the stream. Okay, so they're going aside, dear, okay, because we're going to give them away later, okay? All right. So I want to say thank you to one of our stalwarts fans, Mitenale, for sending me another massive box. I actually asked him in advance, is this box suitable for opening in live stream if it was a not safe for work kind of scenario, and he said it was perfectly fine to open. So here we go. Got my trusty blunt box cutter. Just be careful, that's a knife, okay? So it's sharp and we don't want to get hurt by it, okay? So don't go near the knife, don't go touching the blade while Daddy's opening this box. Now the only thing that I know about this box is that Mitenale said that he apologized for some crappy drawings. I actually have no idea what's in this. I completely forgot about it and it turned up, and I was expecting some other parcels for a custom keyboard build. Hey, Daddy gets to open it, all right? And I thought it was actually that, and I was expecting 2 packages, but the post office was like, no, there's only 1. So I was like, oh, and then I flipped it over and realized who it came from. So I'm a little bit Secret snake with a bang. Snake number 4. What's that? What do you see over there, Ariete?
Snake.
It's a snake. Oh. and we have a bit of a comic that our viewers aren't seeing fully. So what have we got here? We said Snake 4 is coming. Bang. Psychic powers. No finger to trigger. Yes. Because how does a snake shoot a gun? You're next as well, Mr. Cheeseman. Oh, I see. In reference to, I suppose, the changes that have happened on our podcast. If you're not familiar with what's happened in regards to our board podcast, my regular co-host Kevin is actually on hiatus. He's been struggling to balance a little bit of life and work and podcasting together, and so I'm kind of running solo and trying to arrange for interviews and discussions with, people in our community and so on and so forth. So now we've just got a lot of foam, and I'm very confused because I think there's a Kumo in here, which is this MV44. So the instructions say pick one, it's yours. KBD fan grab bag ones. Okay, so this is like a switch cracker. Ariete, just be careful. All right, so that's really cool. So we'll have a look at these. Yeah, what's that? Do you know what that is? Because Daddy doesn't. All right, so I know this is something from the Van keyboards because it obviously says the Van keyboards. I'm just gonna have to be very careful because there's some personal details on that. I was going to show. So the actual packaging is really cool. That's drawn by, I think, Steven, and it's got a Made in the USA sticker. I'm not going to show the other side because there's nothing on it except for an address label. Let's just move this temporarily off. And then over here I've got a very large box, which is a Kumo box, but it probably isn't a Kumo because the tape's already been cut on it, on the front edge, as you can see. There's nothing else but other foam, so Daddy's just going to move this box away. Hey Taylor, it's good to see you. And once again there is some address details on the back, so I'm not really going to go show that. Now, no. You're so keen to open it, aren't you? Yeah? You want to open everything, don't you? Let's just tweak that down. Just having my keyboard there. Normally I would move it, but because she's hanging around and space to move by, because I've got a filing cabinet over here and I normally pull the drawers out and stack my keyboard on top, and it gives me a bit of extra space. Taylor says, how's it going? Well, it's going. It's good to have a holiday. I haven't really had a proper holiday since Christmas, so it's nice to be able to have a holiday. Now, for the 5 people who are watching, what should we open and have a look at first? I've got this thing here. I don't know what's in it. I actually don't know what's in this either, because it could be an actual Kumo / minivan, or it could be something else completely different. And then we've also got these KBD fan switch openers, which, as per the instructions, one seems to be mine, but then I'm obviously going to be sending some of these back. Okay, so the back actually says, I'm happy to swap minivan case if you likes. So that's interesting, because it means one of these is definitely going to be either a minivan or a Kumo. And hello, Bill. It's good to see you. Haven't been streaming for a while. So for the 6 people who are currently on stream, tell me what we want to go with. Do we want to go and have a look at this first, or this big box? And you don't get to have a say. You're very warm. Open the small van keyboard box first. Alright, well, because nobody else has said anything and Taylor's been quick off the mark, that's what we're going to do. Don't want to be burning people's precious time here. Alright, Ariete, do you want to open this one? Yeah? Alright, how do you open it? You want to take it from there and lift up. Can you open it? Yeah, with your fingers, like that, and then open it up. Yeah, like that. Oh. What's inside it?
This.
this. What's that?
Oh, teacups.
Keycaps. Oh my goodness. You actually know keycaps.
And this too.
And that, do you know what that is?
Yeah.
What is it?
One is a lady.
What is it? It's called a space bar.
Space bar.
Yeah, it's a space bar. And these are called
Teacups.
keycaps. So this is, I believe, light cycle. I think. It's cool. So I'm assuming that light cycle is going to go with that actual keyboard. So I'm going to build that, and yeah, we'll have to have a conversation with Matenole about what's actually happening with this keyboard. So what we can see here is their DSA profile and their double shot ABS, because I'm pretty sure that's ABS. They're light, they're thin, but yeah. So we're just gonna have a look, and yeah, they're a 1 mil.
And how about this, Daddy?
How about that? What? Oh, is that? I don't know the novelties for this. Is this? Yeah, it's definitely light cycle, because I've just seen that, which is the distinct light cycle. What's that? Do you know what that is? What does it look like?
Okay.
Do you know what it is? What is it? It's a motorbike.
Motorbike.
It's like a bicycle, but it goes faster than a bicycle. Alright, so let's not dwell too Ariete. We're just going to put these back, because we don't want to lose these ones. Okay, can we put it back? We'll put them away, and we might look at them again later. Okay? Alright, Daddy will close the bag. So what's that called? Do you remember? No, we don't need to take it out. Do you want to put them back in the box? Do you want to put them back inside the box? Alright, thank you. Okay, so let's just put this aside. So I think as Choice Lamb is asking, I believe they're made by Signature Plastic, so they should be ABS DSA. But unless if they're done by like an Asian manufacturer, most likely not. So I guess we should have a look at this, just because we're expecting this to be kind of matching that key set, especially because of the note that was left in the box with the secret snake. Do you want to open this one? Okay. You gotta push or lift from the sides. Yeah. Is it very tight? It's very hard, isn't it? Do you want Daddy to open it? Okay. You wanna try again? Ooh. Oh, okay. What do we see? What's this? Do you know what that is? It's called a plate.
Plate.
Unfortunately, this plate's suffered a bit of bending. It's not dead flat. There's a bit of a bending that's happened over here. So there's a bit of a curvature just on that edge.
Daddy, look at those. More keycaps.
More keycaps. Oh, look at that.
And this one on the keycap.
Yeah. What's that called? Do you know what that is? It's called foam.
Phone for this.
Foam for that. Yeah. Alright, so I actually don't know what's going on here, but it looks like it's a Kumo. It is a Kumo. So we've got some default keycaps. Ooh, some Japanese. That's.
Daddy, look at this.
What's that? Do you know what that is? It's a cable.
Cable?
Cable. Yeah, it's a cable. So we've got some keycaps here, which is actually.
And more keycaps.
No, these are called switches.
Switches.
Yeah, switches.
And bags.
Oh, be careful of the bag, because that's got an Allen key in it. Okay. And and we just don't want to be touching that one without care. Okay, so just having a quick look at these keycaps, they are not exactly DSA, but Ariete, you just play with the foam, okay? Or you can play with the cable. So the profile on these might actually be, well, they're not hub, but I'm not actually sure what these keycap profile is. Is this XDA? Does anyone know what profile these keycaps are? Because they're definitely not DSA. They're much more squarer than a standard DSA, but they're quite low. Are these like a cat or an XDA kind of arrangement? They're very wide and flat, which is pretty cool. So we've got the actual Japanese hiragana on the bottom. So that J has a ma on that one, and the N over here has a I believe that is that's me on that one.
What's this?
And that one looks like it's an arrow key. Okay, so they're die sub by the looks of it, so they're probably
What's
PBT,
this, Daddy?
but they're not super sharp. They are XDA. Okay, awesome, XDA. Oh, you're feeling very warm, Ariete.
Dad, how about this?
How about that? Well, that one says new. So this one's got the character new on it. Yeah, so the actual die sub print on it, I wouldn't say that it's, well, that's very
What's
blurry
this?
because the camera's not doing a great job.
Daddy,
But you
how
can
about
see
this?
the lines and edges on it are
How
not
about this?
super crisp.
Daddy, how
Like, it's
about
clean, but they are
this?
definitely a bit on the fuzzier
Daddy,
side.
how about this?
How about that one? Well, that W is actually multi-print because that's got a fu and it's got a te on it as well. So, yeah. Right, so XDA caps, according to Doom, is PBT and only one manufacturer of them, which is cool. Now, so Taylor's just asked about the switches, which I kind of just quickly glossed over at the moment. These are Kale switches, and I believe, are these the coppers? Or the speed golds? CPG? I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure someone can have a quick look of that and tell me in the stream very shortly. But they've got a click jacket on it. So yeah, whatever those ones are. You're very warm, and sitting here with Daddy, you're making Daddy very warm too. Okay. Well, alright. Let me throw in a message to the gentleman owner of this at the moment before I go any further to find out if that's if I'm building this for him before I pull that out. Ariete, try not to damage that, okay? Because that's not Daddy's. Alright? Alright, so while I'm just waiting for a quick response, Ariete, just be careful with this, alright? Because they're not Daddy's and we don't want to break them, okay? Daddy's going to turn on the fan, alright? And then that way it won't be so hot in here because you're making Daddy hot. Alrighty. Apologize about that, but that's how life is. Alright, so the instructions is, sure, why not? I actually don't know if the layout works on the Kumo, but let's put this thing together. So the plate, Allen keys, keycaps, let's just move it aside. So Ariete, Daddy's going to need a little bit of space. Alright, we'll just move this for the moment. Okay, you just sit there. And Daddy will take this out. So this is actually the first look that I've had on the Kumo. So for those who aren't aware, the Kumo is a, I suppose, entry-level version of the minivan. Now, I would show you my minivan, but my minivan actually lives at work because I use it for work with my work laptop. The thing about the minivan that, while it's not an annoyance or an embuggerance, it's that it's very heavy. So having the plastic case that the Kumo has is actually amazing. It's fantastic because it reduces that weight significantly. It's got some clear sort of silicone feet on the bottom here, and you can see all of the hot swaps in here, which actually looks really, really amazing. I think that's fantastic because you can see all of that detail. I feel like the PCB probably should have actually had a silk screen on it. I feel that it would have been nicer if there was more patterning against it, but that said, it's very clean, right? Like the top I'm not too fussed about because once it's built you're not going to see it, but the bottom, because it is actually clear and straight and visible, then you know you would probably have benefited from something with a little bit more graphics. Why did Daddy draw on my hands? Daddy accidentally drew on himself when he was blanking out personal details. Yeah, so Taylor's just asked, well not asked, but just made the comment that the injection molding in the case looks great. So just having a quick look around, it's very, very clean. I'm not seeing any sprue marks on any of the surfaces on the bottom. There could be some that are actually underneath the feet, but with the feet installed, you're not going to notice it at all. It's got a really lovely thick top edge there, and along the bottom as well. And if there's any sprue marks internally, having the PCB factory fitted, I suppose is a good way of describing it, prevents you from being able to see it. Now it does come with an Allen key here, which is used to hold these screws, which the screws are attached to the actual case itself, and the PCB, as you can see, is already fixed, which is really, really cool. Now it being completely hot swap means no soldering is required. So I didn't even have that set up because I didn't know what was happening here, and that's really cool. Now we have a plate. So the plate's got a bit of warp on it, but let's just find out how bad it is. Ariety, just hands off because it's got some sharp edges. So if I push on that, you can see how much it rocks. And if I push on that, you can see how much it rocks. Whereas on this corner, you know, so it's got a little bit of denting happening. The flex is mostly just in one section here, which is causing that imbalance. I'm not quite sure what can be done about that because I don't really have the means to, as such, to flatten it out perfectly. And you do have to be careful because you can kind of make it worse. So I'm just applying very fine amounts and just checking as I go. Alright, Harriet, just move your hands a little bit. Okay. Is that better? Yeah, that's better, isn't it? But that said, that's also the wrong way around because it needs to go this way. Or not. No, it is the other way. I made this mistake when I was doing my own minivan ages ago, if people remembered the fiasco about that, because I had to take all my caps and all the switches off because then I was like, oh no, I've got it the wrong way around and this, that and the other. Alright, so Ariety, Daddy wants to start putting this together. You can watch, but you can't play with all the pieces, okay? Do you still want to stay sitting on Daddy's lap? Yeah? Alright. So, how about you play with this while Daddy starts putting this together, okay? Which one's your favorite out of all of those? What color? You like the red one? Oh, you don't like this one? You don't like that one anymore? Oh. So she's changing her mind. She used to like the clicky a lot better, but now she's saying that she likes the red, which hurts me a little bit, but you know, gotta let people make their own choices. So, okay. I'm pretty sure it goes that way. Yes, it has to because of the spacebar orientation. If the spacebar orientation isn't correct, then I don't think that's going to work. If I flip it around, then it's off alignment. So it's definitely the right way. Hello, No Main Bear. So Doom has a complaint that the 90-degree rotated sockets might cause issues since the two switch stem axes aren't the same. Yes, you are correct that the axis isn't the same. However, for a lot of keycaps like DSA, because if they're blanks, they can't be manufactured with the same axis stem either. So from my general experience in testing with DSAs, the axes tend to be the same. So what else is happening? Mate, from experience, girls like linear and very light switches. Well, yeah, I don't know about that, but so I guess these might be KL golds. Light linears are the only way to go. People who have Gatoron clears would agree with you quite significantly there. So let's just snap in the corner switches because they're fixed position, making sure that the pins are in the right direction, and that should help. In fact, I can't really do these corner ones until I know what's happening with the keycaps, and because it is hot swap, I can deal with that later. So let's just put that on. Thank you. Alright, so Daddy's just going to put these ones in first, and then if Daddy can get these in properly. This is the tricky part, and so this is a little bit unusual for me because normally I would take the PCB out, and it's what did Daddy say? Daddy needs to build it without you getting involved, okay? Because this one's not Daddy's, and he doesn't want to break it because it's not Daddy's, okay? This is Daddy's friend's one that he's putting together for Daddy's friend. Okay, so it takes a little bit of force to clunk in, but once they're in, it's pretty solid, which is good. All right, so let's just start stacking in all the ones that we know that won't have an issue. All right, do you want to hand them to Daddy? Yeah? Don't put them in. Give them to Daddy. All right, thank you. Thank you. So, what's the weather like in the other parts of the world from wherever you're tuning in from today? Hopefully I'm not bending any of these as they're going in. Gatoron clears don't have a bad rap in my opinion. I actually, for people who want to type with a linear and can't handle high spring weight, Gatoron clears are amazing. When you lube them, they are so smooth. Insanely smooth. So a very long time ago, I ran like a little mini buy for gherkin kits, and somebody who had only used dropped one. Where did it go? There it is. Yeah. They had only ever used a razor, and they were a Colmac user. And they wanted to try the Ortho Life, and also because of the programmability. So they were more than happy to get a a gherkin kit, but they'd never experienced other switches. And I had my very limited switch collection at the time, and they were like, oh, I really like these, and that was a Gatoron Clear. So after I got the Gatoron Clears, I gave him a link to all these other things about lubing them and this, that, and the other, and he went ahead and got himself some Gatoron Clears. He lubed them all, and he built his gherkin. And when I tried them, as he described it, it was like typing on clouds. Now, if you put those lubed Gatoron Clears into this Kumo, it would be like typing on clouds on a cloud, because that's what the Kumo is. And Nick, if you are watching this, this could be it for you. Maybe. So Taylor says it's rainy and 60 degrees Fahrenheit. So 60 degrees Fahrenheit, you take off 32, so that's about 28. Then 28 divided by almost half, so it's about, what, 14 degrees Celsius, maybe? That's just bad maths going on right now. So it's probably much colder than that. Double cloud, what does it mean? It means it's oh so fluffy. That's what double cloud means. Just wondering if you can see the actual switch pins through this. Yeah, you can. So if you look very carefully, I don't know if the camera was going to pick it up because it's got to focus through the actual plastic. You can actually see the pin going through the copper brassy bit of the hot swap, which is really cool. It's just under room temperature. Room temperature, like, are we talking RTP? Are we talking STP? Like, how do you define room temperature? What does that even mean? 24 degrees? Is that what? Or is it 20 degrees and standard pressure? I can't remember my chemistry. RTP and STP was a very long time ago for me. And I don't... Is that the right way? No, that was not the right way. You want to put it in that one? Okay. Alright, Daddy will put it in that one for you. Okay. You want to put it in there? Alright. Daddy, they have a right way and a wrong way of putting them in, Ariety. So they make sure they go in the right way. Okay? Daddy's a little bit faster at clunking these in than you are, but that's kind of to be expected. Oh, I can't see those because the label's in the way. Thankfully, none of these have bent pins yet, which makes it a little bit easier to deal with. Oh, you want to put that one in there, do you? That one's the wrong way. Alrighty. Oh, you getting sick again?
No.
No? Do you need a tissue? Have you finished your tea?
Yeah.
You finished your tea? Really? Oh. So these days, whenever we have tea, whenever Florence and I have tea, she always wants to have tea. Yeah.
Daddy, that's your friend.
Yeah, that's my friends. That's right. This is Mitenolai's keyboard, okay? You've met Mitenolai. He's a very nice person, despite what he says. He's a very generous person too.
You pinching them like that.
That's how Daddy's fitting them in. Is that the right way? No, no. You had it right the right way. It's just, Daddy will just seat it in for you. Okay. There you go. You want to push it in? Can you push it in? It's not going in.
Daddy, can you help me?
Okay. There you go. Did Daddy put it in the right spot? Alright. You try. Is it in?
No.
Alright. You're doing the Oliver Twist thing, are you? Please, sir, can I have some more? Alrighty. It's good daddy-daughter bonding, I suppose, building keyboards. Hot swap makes it a lot safer than having an iron and lead and things like that going. No, that's upside down, silly. It won't fit that way. We need to be careful because remember, this isn't Daddy's. So we can't damage it or break it, okay? Ariety. It doesn't fit that way. Alright, so I need to go and find out how the bottom row
One more.
is. There's more than one more, Ariety. So some of these have different positions. We can only put these two in with confidence, alright? Because the others have different positions. So I'll put one in there. Do you want to push that one in?
Yeah.
Can you push that one in? Or try? Push! Is it going in? No. Alright. Daddy will help you there. Hopefully that went in. Oh, it's no, that's not fit properly. Okay.
Daddy, more.
We can't put them in yet. I need to find out what Mitenole wants for the bottom row. Okay. Now, of course, I probably should have actually plugged the cable in to find out if it was going to work or not. And that would have been the smart thing to do. But let me just find out what bottom row options they would like, and then what I'll do is I will open where is switch header? Switch header. Switch header, switch header. Okay, so we've got switch header going, and what I'm going to do there is let's go over to the right monitor. Okay, so we're in switch header, and now I've got to find a way for this cable to be connected. Ariety, Daddy's just going to move this closer. Just leave it there. Okay. I'm going to pull my extension cable out. So Mitenole said, whatever I feel like. Well, that's entertaining as always. Should never leave people with their own devices at times. And so there's a USB-C, and we have light. We have ignition. So let's see if it's got a default. Oh, that was my normal keyboard. So now, yeah, so it already has a default flash on it, and we can see that everything so far that I've put in. Ariety, can we just wait? Okay, so one switch is not working. Or is it? It is. Ariety, Daddy's trying to test this. Please don't press it, okay? Can you wait? Can you please wait until Daddy's finished testing it? Alright, so Bill says that he's in two minds about hot swap because of a couple of reasons. It adds a lot of value, but also compromise. So, and Taylor said the question that I was going to ask is, what exactly are these compromises? Alright, so let's just put that one back in, reseat it. Oh, okay. So that's Ariety. So this one's working intermittently, and I'm not 100% sure what's going on there. It might be like a tap feature, so we'll just make sure that one is okay. It could be layering as well. All right, so we'll just continue testing. So that one is also not. That's working as like an escape. You can see what's happening in the chat there. Right, so what is... Okay, so we've got an enter happening there, and we've got a space happening there. So a lot of this stuff is... It's working, but I'll just need to check the connectivity. But I think it might be related to layers, which the default map does use layers of some kind. Ariety. That is just going to unplug this now, okay? Alright, there we go. And I actually remapped my minivan because my functional use for minivan is obviously the way that I want to use it. So I've remapped it using minivan layouts and stuff like that on the Van Keyboards website, which was fine. But we'll see that the fact that these have actually been appropriately put in, they are receiving something. It's just that EK is not really seeing it. So Bill, as you would have seen when I shared that right screen, that right monitor side, the typing feel, sound, and general jank. That's really interesting because I don't feel that the sound has been greatly affected with hot swaps. But then again, I'm probably a lot less sensitive to some of these things compared to other people. And it's obviously a very personal matter. The inconvenience building with layouts. Well, I suppose that's what he's talking about, because if you look at, and if you're not familiar with these hot swaps for how the minivans built the bottom row, is that rather than them being a north-south orientation, they are a east-west orientation for the pins. So the pairs are this and this, rather than them being at the top and the bottom, as you might expect a lot of flip rotations have. Do you need a tissue? You've got a runny nose. Germ factory, like I said earlier. Yicky. Having your nose wiped on live stream with gusto. Hey? Alright. So Mitenele has basically told me that whatever I feel like in the bottom row. So I want to make sure that it matches keycaps. And so we'll find out if this will work on the bottom row. Now, what? Daddy's going to open this one up and start putting them on, okay? So hot swaps don't accept 5-pin switches. So it's interesting that you say that, Bill, because these are 5-pin switches. These are plate mount. You'll see the footprint is actually designed with the 5-pin. Ben, these I believe are the Kale Golds because they're click jacket ones. And since you might have come in later, that's the actual code, the part number for those particular pins. Alright. So Doom says that they use a hot swap PCB in a sandwich case, put on stabilized keys, push the PCB off the switches, unless I take the bottom plate and press against it. Okay, Ariete. No. Can you please not do that? Because Daddy's trying to actually put these on. Okay? So that'll be ZXCV in theory. So no F5s. Hack. Unlock. So obviously this light cycle set is a full set. But we'll put that. Is that gonna fit? There we go.
And this?
No, Ariete. No. Okay. If you're not going to listen to Daddy, then Daddy's going to have to eject you from the room. I think I realized that the issue that I'm going to have here is because there's so many keycaps in here, it's for a full set that you can obviously see. I might actually renege on saying to put on light cycle, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the default Kumo caps on here, because otherwise that could be quite an extensive process to dig around and find. And then I've just realized, even though I've put that one upside down, that technically doesn't matter. The issue at hand is, don't come out please, awesome, is that while this is designed for enter and I put it on enter, there might be an actual one that says enter, but then there might not be a short space. So let's just put these back. Light cycle, as gorgeous as it is, you'll have to live your life on whatever keyboard and keyset dreams that Mitenele has for you. And let's go with the default Kumo keycaps so we can actually see that presentation with the XTA. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. And put those ones back in. All right, Taylor, not a problem. Have a good evening. since I don't know what time it is, thank you very much for coming and checking out the stream. Harrietty.
Want to pick up that?
No, I already put it in. Okay, we're not gonna keep playing with that one. We'll just put that back.
I want to play that one.
Well, we're gonna put these ones on. Okay. We'll put these ones on. So some of these we can put on because we know where they're going to be.
This one go to this.
Well, that one might go there. Yeah. We'll just see how that one is. All right.
There's even the small one.
It is a small one. It's having a hard time fitting.
One.
How about that one?
This one goes to this.
No, that one doesn't go to there. These are very tight fitting.
Daddy, how about this? This one go to this.
That one's a shift, so that one's actually over here.
How about this one?
That one's an arrow key, so that'll probably be over there, but I don't know about that one yet. No. So we're not going to put those ones on yet, alright? So Daddy's going to go back to using switch hitter and let switch hitter help him. Because he's trying to concentrate on doing this and managing you at the same time. Which he's losing that battle. Alright. So, Ariete, no. Do not hit them. Please. Please. Okay? Let Daddy do what he needs to do. Alright? There. They're very tight fitting caps. So that's one thing that I will say. Ariete, if you do this again and you're not listening, Daddy is going to remove you from here. And then you'll have to go play outside.
No.
Please just watch, okay? If you're not going to behave, then that's what's going to happen. Alright, you can play with the keycaps, but don't put them on, please. Alright, let's see if we can find the defaults. So I'm not even sure what that... SAS Q. Do you need your tissue? You're sniffling. Have you finished your tea? Where's your water? Do you need some water? No? Okay.
How about this go to?
Where's that one going to go to? It's the letter F.
F.
It goes there. Okay? So just leave it there for Daddy. Alright, thank you. There we go. Okay. Do you know what letter that is? What letter is that?
2.
It's not the letter 2. That's letter Y.
Y.
Do you know what letter that is?
C.
Yeah, it is the letter C. Good job.
How about this go?
Well, that one's not a letter. That one's some kind of modifier. A little bit different. Okay. Do you know what letter that one is?
C.
Letter Z. Yeah, good job.
Z.
Z for what? What starts with Z? Do you know?
Either.
No. Do you know what that one is? That's letter J.
J.
Yeah, that's letter J. That one's not a letter. That one is angled brackets.
What's this called?
That one's that modifier again. A different modifier. And there's backspace.
What's this called?
That's another modifier. That one's like a layer key.
What's this called?
And that one's a tab.
Okay.
And then we've got some... All these grey ones are specials, okay?
Those ones one.
We'll just put those grey ones over there for now. Alright, do you know what letter that is?
Yeah.
What letter is that? That's letter G.
G.
Yeah. Letter G. What letter is that? That's letter R.
R.
R. Harriet, do you need to use the toilet?
No.
No, but you just gave a shiver. You just gave a shiver. What letter is that?
D.
That's not D. That's letter E.
E.
Yeah, it's letter E.
Oh, look. A.
Yeah, that is letter A.
For me.
A for Arietti. No, it doesn't go there, it goes there. Okay, thank you.
And how about this?
Do you know what that one is?
1.
It's the letter I.
I.
Yeah, I and 1 look very, very similar, but they're not the same, okay?
2.
What letter is that?
2.
No, that's the Japanese character te. It looks like 2 upside down, but it's actually te, and that one's W. Okay.
W.
W. Do you know what that one is?
H.
That's H. Good job.
How about this go?
That one's an arrow key, so that one will go somewhere else. Do you know what that one is?
Yeah.
What's that one? Do you know what that one is?
Yeah.
What is it? What letter is that? You don't know?
No.
It's the letter N.
N.
Yeah.
This one goes that and go to this.
What letter is that?
C.
That's not C. Do you want to try again? What letter is it? It's D.
D.
And what is D for? D for? Is it D for Daddy?
No.
No. Well, what's that one? Do you know that one? It's letter O.
Oh.
And then what about this one?
2.
Not 2. That's letter U.
U.
What about this one? That one's letter L.
L.
Okay. That one's the other angled bracket. What's that one? Do you know that one?
H.
No, that's letter M.
M.
M. And this one?
Upside down.
Upside down? No, that's letter V.
V.
Yeah.
The upside down.
And then this one?
B for Brian.
B for Brian. Yeah. Do you like playing with Brian at daycare? Do you? Harriet? Do you like playing with Brian at daycare? You don't know. Alright. So now we're in a bit of roulette. So I'm going to go and find out on the Van Keyboards' default. No, Ariete, please do not. Because this actually is working, okay? Alright, so config. The happiness of Brian. Yes. Okay, so default layer. So I want to select the minivan. Right, so the default, if we have a look at it, right hand monitor, it looks like that. So it's a tap and then there's a hold. So that is what we will attempt to utilize. Yes. Let's try that. Actually, I need to go back to switch header. I'm losing my windows now. Too many things going on. Ariete. Oh. Switch header here. Switch header here. I'm losing my mouse cursor because there's two of them on the screen. Okay. I'm back to switch header. So I can safely put these on. Is there an actual enter in this? Set. Trying to decipher some of these symbols. Okay. Ariete. So one's longer than the other, and I think I may have had them the wrong way round. So let's just take that one out, because I believe that they're different lengths. They are different lengths, so we can see that they're different lengths. And I think that this one might... I need better reference pictures to this. Let's have a look at Kumo's default layout. No, I did get it right. Dang it. Alright, so the default is actually grey on this side and white on the other side. Second guessing myself. So this one's clicking, and this one isn't. This one's a bit mushy. This one's very mushy. What have I done?
This is a bit mushy too.
No, that one's... So the stabilizer's working. The switch is working. The switch is definitely working. Let's try and put it the other way around and see if that will help. There we go. Okay. So the orientation of the caps was making a bit of a Gumby of that. Alright, so I'm just going to disconnect it as I'm doing this, and then I'll use the reference pictures so I know what I'm putting where. Alright, so this one goes there.
Okay.
Okay. And then there's a little 1U with the root on it.
Okay.
Which is going there. Okay. On this side we've got that one's already there, and that's a single. What are we looking for? I'm looking for the escape.
Escape.
Escape, yeah. Okay, and I need something that's got a little bit better clarity for me to look at. Come on, give me a higher zoom. Okay, so that's solid lines, because these have actual different iconage on them. See, that doesn't fit, so it has to be that one. There we go. Alright, so we have a default with that in the bottom corner. So the connector is a USB-C connector, which is pretty cool, with a right angle head on it, so it keeps it nice and flat. Now, for that to fit in there, then it needs to be on that side, I believe. Is that right? Wow, these XDAs. Oh, just stabbed myself with these pins. Look at that. Oh, you can't. There we go. it kind of focus for a second. It's just nearly broke the skin there. Now you want to show off your hands too, do you? Yeah, you can see that? That's a puncture mark. Building keyboards is dangerous. That seems extraordinarily close to the side, so I must be wrong, so I'm going to flip it around to the other side and mount it that way. And then I'll try these guys again. Yeah, okay, so that's much more comfortable. Then I've got the one with the weird hooky bit on it, which is this one. So I'm going to assume that one's the middle switch position then, for default. Which is there.
Okay.
Okay.
And how about those?
Okay, and then
Mm,
it's this one.
Okay.
Okay. And I think now it'll be, there's sufficient gap on that one. So if I put it in that way, is that right?
Okay.
I think that might be it. So let's try that.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright. And then on the other side, it's the one that's got the two kana on it.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be on this side. I'll try that one.
Okay.
Okay.
That is dead.
And then I need to find another stab when keys fight back. Well, you know, they get abused quite a bit, don't they, our poor keyboards? So it's well within their rights to fight back. Now that goes that way, and because that's a 1U, that's going to go that way. I have bled for keyboards. I have certainly sweated for keyboards, and I don't think I've cried yet for keyboards, but it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. Therefore, I will have done the whole blood, sweat, and tears for keyboards. Yeah, that's right.
Left.
Well, there's two left actually. There's this one.
There's one more left too.
Yeah, that's right. So the default layout actually, interestingly,
Daddy,
uses the
Be
up key
careful.
instead of
There's
that.
some
So,
pins.
but the layout
Daddy,
itself.
Watch out.
Okay.
There's some pins, Daddy.
Yes, there are some pins there. So, and then that one is.
Yeah.
See, because that one goes, that meh and that meh with that arrow key actually suits it. But when I was pressing it just before, no, it doesn't go there. This one's going to go there. All right. Okay, so now we have some extras. Do you want to put them back in the bag?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to put those other ones? No, these ones that we didn't use. Do you want to put them in the bag? All right. Yeah. So, look. Obviously, I'm not the end user and owner of this. This is just more of a thank you to Maternal for letting me check it out and have a look at it on stream and build it. And obviously test that it actually works functionally. So now that we've got the bottom row going, I'm going to go back to switch header and then I'm going to plug it back in, and then we can actually find out how badly we put the bottom row in. So our indicator and layer light is working. We're back on switch header and there we go. So we got that. So that's some kind of layer key there. Enter and space we already knew worked. We've got an alt key. We've got a shift key. And then, okay, so you're not seeing it because the monitor is on, but there we go. We have layer of sorts indications, which is incredibly bright. But I'm sure that this is actually fully functional, and I haven't gumbied the build at all. Of course, if I have, then you know, I will make amends, but you know that I'll come good with that. So that is the Kumo. It's definitely distinctive lightness. It's heaps lighter. I'd say practically half the weight to my minivan, just because of that plastic case. Now the minivan case is lovely, but as far as it goes as an aluminium block, it is beefcake. Oh, thank you. Okay. Do you wanna try typing on it? Do you wanna press on it? You can press on it now. Daddy says you can. All right. So what Daddy's going to do is move the microphone down, okay, and you press on it how you like, so everyone can hear what the keyboard sounds like. Okay? All right. Okay, you can start typing on the keyboard now. Okay. Do you like it? Yeah? Do you really like it? Tell Daddy, don't just nod. Do you like it? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah? Why do you like it?
Cause I like it all the time.
You like it all the time. Does it sound nice?
Yeah.
Does it feel nice? Yeah, it feels nice?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And what do you call this?
A for Arity.
A for Ariety. Well, there you go. You have the approval of a nearly 3-year-old that the Kumo with Kale Golds feels nice. So let's bundle that. Let's put that with that, and then those together. And there's the cable. All right, so that's phase 1. That was pretty cool. We've had a very sort of quickish look at light cycle. We put together Kumo. Now we'll move on to these switch openers, I guess. Okay. Have you finished typing with this? Yeah? You want to put it away now? You don't want to put it away. Oh, well, we're going to have to put it away because it's not Daddy's, okay? It's not Daddy's to keep. All right?
From your friend.
Yeah, it's from Daddy's friend. And as Choice Lamb says, it's very snappy for a click jacket sound-wise. It's actually very close to like a box white type of snap. And I think the plastic does help with that sound because it's not like a thin ABS plastic case that like those really cheap 60% that you can get have. This construction and case is very stiff. Like I didn't do the flex test because we hadn't built it yet, but if we, Ariety, can Daddy take it? Okay, but if I try and do that twist, it's got some flex to it, and I am actually putting it and it's digging into my hands. Like you can see the twist, but it bounces back very well to the point where if I twist it, it doesn't rock at all whatsoever. So I'm going to say a really solid product. I'd be really happy to have one of these. I mean, I've already got a minivan, so I don't really need the Kumo. And of course, you know, the minivan was courtesy of Evan from the Van Keyboards for Secret Santa. So, you know, I'm definitely not being a begging chooser here, or a choosing beggar, really. So let's rest that back down.
Daddy?
Wait. Okay, just wait. Is this going to fit in anymore? It's not going to fit, is it? There's not enough space here into this. So what Daddy's going to do is he's going to put it into the other box, okay? But we'll put the cable, maybe? Is the cable going to really fit?
Yeah.
Well, let's put the foam on top.
Okay.
Okay. Is the cable going to fit? No, the cable's not going to fit. Well, let's just close that up, and then we'll worry about that part later. All right? The front goes in. Yeah. Cool bananas. All right. Let us keep moving. All right. So let's just put that. Let's put these in. Okay. And then we'll see if we can tuck these pieces in with it, okay? If we're lucky and they fit. Oh, don't scrunch that up. Alright. You don't need to scrunch that up. We can just fold that carefully. Want that on the inside. No, it's not going to fit, but I'll sort that out later. I'll put that aside. Alright, so now last item on the agenda is switch openers. Do you know what a switch opener is, Ariete? What's a switch opener?
Can I open this one too?
Yeah, you can open that one. Do you know how to open the bag? Okay. There you go.
Okay. And what's inside to this?
They're called switch openers.
Switch opener?
Yeah, switch opener. Okay. So that can go and that can go. Alright. Let's just open one. Ooh. It's very fancy looking. And then we can open the other. Ooh. So that one came with a piece of paper or a piece of cardboard. And the other one didn't. It's very fancy. Do you like the colors? Which color do you like out of them? You like the darker one? Okay, well let's have a look at the darker one then, okay? Alright, so it comes with a key ring, kind of ring, and then it's very, very compact. Now I don't think there's anything else in this foam packaging. No. So the foam's also quite snug, so I'm not going to try and check around it. It's very flat. It's a bag? No, it's not a bag. Do you know what this is?
Yeah.
What is it? Don't bang it around, okay? So it's very compact, and when I say very compact, I mean look at it. It's just over a centimeter in thickness, right? We're talking like maybe 11 and a half mil.
Can you check this one too?
You want Daddy to check this one? Okay. Well, the ring size on this, okay, is 20 millimeters. It's 2 centimeters,
Okay.
and it's only 3 millimeters thick. Okay.
Yeah.
So don't lose that. But this compactness, I'm assuming, it's magnetic. I didn't even realize, but wow, I'm super impressed. So it's got some earth magnets here, some very small rare earth magnets, and we have a MX style, the cherry type housing, which requires the 4 corners to open up the switch, and then this is the Kale box switch or Kale type, where it's got the 2 big flats, and it's I wasn't quite sure how the holding mechanism was working, but this snaps together super clean, super Ariete. You're going to lose things if you're not careful. It's going to go and disappear, isn't it? Alright, just leave that and don't play with that, please. But that's really tight. I was quite surprised at how strong that was holding, and you know, from a good distance you can feel that grab, and it just snaps together to the point where that's really just so you don't lose it, as opposed to that you need it so they don't come apart, because that's super solid. Now, of course, what would be the point of checking out a switch opener if we aren't going to test opening some switches? No, Ariete, we're not going to open that one, okay? Because we only need to open one to have a look at it, because they're the same. Now, as Ben says, it's great if you want to open switches on the go, But the question is, at what point are you likely to have to open switches on the go?
How'd you close it?
You want to close it. It's got magnets. You have to be very careful because they're sharp. Can you feel how sharp that is? If it's sharp, okay, it's going to hurt you if it pinches your fingers. All right? So that's why I don't want you playing with this. Okay? You can play with the box. All right? Okay, so I've got a box yellow there. That's got a bit of a sticky problem. And then over here, what have I got? I've got I need a cherry style housing. Okay, so I've got there we go. So there's a cherry green that we've got.
Cherry green?
A cherry green, yeah, okay. I don't need that one. So Choice Lamb says, when a lady asks, can you open my switches? Well, I suppose if you're at a meetup and people are hot swapping and they want to do a bit of lubing or something like that, then that might be an opportunity to use something like this, and you'd be like, sure. Okay, so let's try the cherry style first. So we make sure our tabs are in the right position. You need a tissue? Yes, you've got snot running down your nose. You didn't like that, did you? Do you need some water? Alright, so we'll put that on top and then press quite firmly, and voila, it's done the job, and it's separated the top very nicely. It actually disengages from the housing, and then straight away we've got the contents open. So that was very quick, very easy, very painless. Ariete. So let's try that again. So we just mount the switch on top. So you can just see it'll sit neatly against the pins, and then as I push that down, it opens it up. The spring tension pops the top housing off, and the base stays within it, and then the whole thing comes out because the actual housing itself is still being held together until you open it up. It's just really to open it up rather than to separate it. Now for the box switch style with the big large flaps on the side, it works much the same, I would assume, but I think what is a little bit different, Ariete, is that it doesn't have anything that's holding it in place. So you can see it's got slide. It's not really an issue, but I just feel like whereas this actually has retention to ensure that it sits in the right position because this is more precise, it would have been nice if a design could incorporate that aspect into it. So when you put your housing into it, then you know it's not an issue. What's really interesting is if you have, you want to come down. All right, go. What's really interesting, if you've just noticed what's happened, is when I opened this box switch, besides the fact that it's now trying to explode and go everywhere, which is why I say having that retention, Ariete, please don't play with that because Daddy's going to need it to send the keyboard back to his friend. Okay? Can you not play with that? Thank you. Is that it actually moved the bottom housing down. So let's just have a look at that in a little bit more detail. Okay, so I'm going to hold that in place. Right, so it's in the center. But now, because of how much stiffer, let's see if I can get it to come into focus. One of these days, when we become rich and famous, which is of course never, I might be able to get a camera set up that actually focuses quickly. So as I'm pushing downwards, the white housing part actually moves down because the spring weight is actually pushing against the bottom housing because it's been liberated from the top. So see how that's actually caused that to shift downwards, which is really interesting because then the moment that you sort of let go, then the spring reacts against that and clears the top housing further. And then of course, if you do it slowly like I've just done it, your parts don't go anywhere. But if you do it quickly, because see how that's just falling apart, right? I think that's probably my major criticism at the moment for the kale opening style compared to the cherry, because the cherry has those side supports. It's very effective, don't get me wrong. I think it's doing an amazing job at what it's designed to do. It's just a little bit more of a potential to fly everywhere, especially if you're not careful and you're a little bit uninitiated. So make sure that if you do use this style of opener without the side supports, that you're prepared to not have springs and other things. Just like that! Happened. Holy smokes. Okay, where did it go? Somebody can catch that one for foul prosperity. These springs can eject stems extremely far. Flying. It's that was hilarious. Oh hey, it's Granny Gear Killer. Thank you very much. Yes, and you would have seen my comments in reply to yours regarding your gherkin and the kit and whatnot. I'm very happy that you could make today's live stream as well. So thank you very much for coming along and checking it out and supporting the channel. Really appreciate that. Got a Poker 2 with MX Blues and got a Gherkin kit with the MX Browns on the way. So Poker 2, Poker 3, the Poker series are very much a staple of the community. I would say that they're kind of really almost gateway keyboards, if that terminology makes any sense to you whatsoever. Why is this not gone? Do I have the housing the wrong way around?
Did you work your button?
Let's try this again.
Did you do anything? Yeah? Did you work your button?
That can't be the right way. I'm getting defeated by this housing. I'm getting defeated. Oh yeah. There we go. Alright. I haven't clicked on that link yet, Bill, but are you talking about the beam spring switch that Input Club is developing? Because if you are, then I saw it earlier today. Is that the one that we're talking about? Yes, the beam switch. Yeah, so I already saw it on the on Keep Talk. So there was a thread that I saw it about 2 hours after it was posted in regards to that, and it is very interesting. It's very exciting. My commentary in regards to that is it's going to be a little bit of a slow climb into acceptance because of the PCB requirements. You know, first of all, people will have to get hold of them, and then they have to understand the requirements and the sensors that will need to be implemented and how the PCB layout works and components before that can be widely adopted and spread. You know, it's fast for people to come up with footprints and things like that, and understanding just like how to integrate it into our very fundamental sort of matrix, and of course it being supported with stuff like QMK. If there's going to be something in the middle that translates the signals or not. I think it's a really cool project, and it's fantastic that they've taken that step to bring to market what they believe is a superior switch and clicky. It's just more about the cost and time to actually make that happen, as well as its adoption. And as Doom says, you know, it's very much that Kono has to go out of their way to create like certain layouts, so ISO 60% PCB with QMK, before Doom would be able to implement that use. And I kind of agree in that context that that's going to be part of their challenge. So just to wrap up on this KBDFans opener, I do like it. It's actually really nifty. I of course already have 3D printed opener from DIY Keyboards, and as a bit of a sneak, I haven't actually done the review of them yet, but I've also got these Nutcracker switch openers as well. Now these are B stock, which is why there's some funky colors going on here, but at some point I'll also review these. I might actually do like a switch opener kind of comparison video as well, because now I've got these, and if I'm keeping one of these, and I've got these, then it'll sort of give a roundup of some of the options for switch opening out there. Okie dokie. I'm just having a look at how, so the live stream's been going for 1.5 hours at the moment. Now, I know that I promised potentially grab bag, so I'm just going to show you that the bag is actually here, and as soon as I've started shaking it, you opened it. What have you got in your hand?
Chocolate.
You got a chocolate? What is it?
It's a bowl chocolate.
It's a bowl chocolate. It's an Easter egg chocolate.
It's the egg chocolate.
Yeah, if you're eating that, you can't touch anything here because your hands are going to be covered in chocolate, okay? So you can stay and watch, but you can't touch anything, okay? Alright. Yeah, so I think, and as Doom said, you know, they're trying to innovate, and innovation is good. Innovation is great, right? I want to innovate, and that's part of what I've been doing with the down bubble and stuff like that as well. I'm just simply saying that the progress that they're going to get with adoption may be slow, and they will have to do a lot of legwork to make that adoption happen. Okay, so let's just close on that. So the silver one can go back into the silver, and that one will go back into the other one. Haven't quite decided which one that I might keep. That said, because I haven't played around with the silver one, maybe the silver one's better to be pristine to go home to Mitanile. Choice lamp. Forget Cheetos. Chocolate fingers is horrible. I mean, you know, you can use a vacuum or air can and blow out Cheeto dust, but chocolate smears, that's all sorts of bad. And especially with a small child in toilet training, is it actually chocolate? Is the second question that you have to ask yourself. And you really don't want to have to do the sniff test, and you definitely do not want to do the taste test. I can tell you that right now. Okay. Rarity, don't play with that. That's the zip from your clear pencil case that you keep taking off. Chop. Chop. Come on. Hey, Daddy needs somewhere to put his cup, okay? That's a terrible question. Is it chocolate? It almost reminds me of Good Mythical Morning, which is a fantastic channel if you're not familiar with them. So what I'm going to do is, just to save a bit of time, because I don't want the stream to go super long, I actually have someone who's just sent me a message on Slack telling me that they're now available to do a bit of a podcast related interview thing, which I kind of been trying to line up for a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to open this, we'll pull it out and have a very quick squiz just in general rather than the full sorting, and then we'll do the pin draw, and hopefully you guys have actually sort of got onto doing that. Now, for those people who are actually still here, and if you missed it because it was right at the start, here is a link to the Google form for the pin draw. So like I said, I've got 2 of them that I'm actually going to be giving away today. One will be random draw against the name, and then one will be a random draw against the closest guess between 1 to 1,000. All right, so while I'm opening this box up, head over to that link and put in your details, and of course you kind of have to be here because, you know, I'll know who it is. Can you ask Mummy to help you? Okay. Alright. So, I actually don't know how many people may have won their glow-in-the-dark keycap because I didn't see very much happening on RMK. Obviously, if they're not an RMK person and they didn't put it there, then goodness knows. And hello, Mr. Keebs. Welcome to the live stream. So it'd be really cool if I got a glow-in-the-dark cap because then it means I would have won $75 of Pimp My Keyboard's credit. So here is the sack. And straight away, I can see a novelty key right there. I have no idea where that comes from, but it looks cool. So that's a score. I see a couple of novelties. Now, I love me some grab bags. This is my 8th grab bag. Okay. Hey, it's One. Welcome, One. Yeah, so I'll be wrapping up this very shortly, and then we can have a chat. But there's some very interesting keys that I'm already seeing. So, for example, there's that. I have no idea where that comes from. I lost the other novelty. Oh, I think it's on the underside, but I mean that's like a Model M kind of keycap. The last grab bag I got actually didn't have very much at all from that style. Hey, look, 20 pence. Anybody? So let's just have a very quick rummage. Ooh, I like that. I know that one comes from that set that's got the bees on it, the honey one, I think. Very unusual one. Whoa! What on earth is that from? I honestly have no idea what that is. Oh, okay. Godspeed novelty run from China. Okay, cool. Spaceship with the set in the blue one. So there's some really cool stuff happening in here. Hey, did I just get it? Anybody for AE keyboards? Australians would know about this one potentially. Some 1976. Getting some Alps ISO enter there happening. So this is just a very obviously super quick rummage in here, but well, I quite like that. Is that from Bento? Is that SA Bento? Does that exist? Reprint ticket second. Ah, look at that. So there's a Pirate B. If it'll come into focus. Force the focus. Force the focus. One of these days. One of these days. Oh, almost had it. Well, you can kind of get the idea. It's actually really cool. What I'm going to do is I am going to just hand grab and start dumping out so I can get a little bit deeper in the bag. Oi, look at that. Ariete, are your hands clean?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't run away with any of these, okay? You can look. You can look, but you need to put them back, okay? Alps ISO Enter. There's the Alps ISO Enter right there, that unicorn. How much do you reckon I could potentially flip it on the market for? Not that I'm really known as a flipper, but I don't think I've flipped anything actually in my life, to be honest with you. Ah, here we go. So there's that that globy looking one. What was that? Yes, as my wife has just said in the background, I'm too much of a hoarder to be a flipper. But the fact that she's more than willing to say that means at least it's not really an issue. Clear keycap. Got a bunch of space bars. What are you doing, Ariety? Bring your stool over. The problem with having small children learning about accessibility tools is accessibility increases significantly. Ariety, what are you doing? Daddy's trying to have a look at things. Okay. Yes, while very quickly, he's still wanting to have a cursory examination, and you're making things bypass him very quickly. Do you like rummaging in this bag? Do you like playing with keycaps?
Yeah. The purple and light purple.
Yeah, purple and light purple. Wow. Daddy's never heard you distinguish between the two before. Do you like purple or light purple?
Light purple and light green.
You like light purple and light green. Oh, it's very specific. I'm obviously going to have to go through these in a lot more detail because I'm sure I'm missing all sorts of things just by having this quick skim. But there's another one of those. And Doom says, hit me up if you have a full ISO set with Alps, as long as it matches. I've actually got some Alps over time from grab bags. I don't think I've got a full ISO set though. That's a bit of an unusual one there. It's like it went through the process twice, and that one's a bit of an unusual one. That top fill. So if you are actually after something, I'm sure I can help you. I don't tend to win very many competitions, so if I actually did win one of the 10 PMK glow in the darks, I would be extremely happy. But of course that would use up all of my luck for like the next year or something like that. Well, I mean, I would say that far out. I'm very lucky in life in that, you know, I have good health and I've got a job and I've got family.
Like
I'm not
that.
homeless on the street like that, yeah. So I don't need crazy excessive amounts of luck because I'm already quite lucky. But, you know, everybody enjoys winning stuff, right? Like, it's the thrill of it. It's just the feel of it, like, you know, Marbo, yeah? And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you all need to go and watch The Castle. Classic. Oh look, I got a second bee. Hey, you don't need to throw them like that, Ariety. If you're not going to behave, then you're going to get kicked out of here, alright? And you know what that means. When Daddy says something, he means it, alright? Please behave, because there's lots of people looking, alright? They're watching you on the camera. Can you wave to everybody and say hello? No? You don't want to wave to people up here? Want to say hello and wave to them? You don't want to wave now. Why are you being so grumpy? Hey, look, I got a G20. Haven't had a G20 keycap in ages. Used to get a lot more G20s, and then for a while, they didn't. Oh, how cool is that? That's like a failed double shot key. Like, there's literally nothing in it, but that's showing you the structure of whatever that particular keycap would have had on the back end. That's very cool.
What is from, Daddy?
What's that from? That's a keycap. That's a keycap that didn't turn out very well. Okay. We're nearly at the bottom of the bag now.
What is from the another bee?
Yeah. See, I have two bees. There's one bee that's a pirate bee, like Captain Feathersword. And then this one's just a normal bee.
That's a cotton bee.
That's a Captain Feathersword-like bee. Yeah.
Like feather on the hat.
Like feather on the hat. Yeah, Captain Feathersword. How does Captain Feathersword go? What does he say?
Hi there.
Ahoy there. Yeah. That's right. That's what Captain Feathersword says, isn't it?
Black one.
Well, that was interesting. I have no idea what that comes from. It's a DSA with a very unusual symbol.
Daddy, what you found in this?
Daddy doesn't know what that one is. That's why Daddy took it out, because it's interesting. It's different. Ooh, another G20. DSA Navy. Royal Navy, sorry. Daddy works in maritime, so that one's always cool. One to be or not to be? Well, I would say that some people would probably prefer to be a bee, because all you do is run around and gather pollen and make honey. Quite the life. The tote release, the classic tote release. Got plenty of those. There's another cool artisan. Well, not artisan, but novelty. The bag's empty. They're all in here now. Okay. Alrighty. So just a very quick rummage. Some of the unusual things that was in this grab bag. It doesn't look like I was one of the lucky 10 people to get the glow in the darks, but some very different. Well, that's not really super cool, except for the fact it's massive and it just has this tiny little at symbol in it.
Look what I found.
What did you find? What's that one?
A black.
A black one. Yeah, it's just black. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have fun and sort all of these ones again. But I mean, we don't know what kind of stuff we have in here, Jack. But we'll get through it there, and I'll resort these again at some point and pull out the ones that are going to be of interest, because I'm still trying to build some vomit sets which are just hanging over here. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna do the dastardly thing, and I'm gonna sweep all of these back into this box. Oh look, you found another one. Lots of honeycomb there. Okay.
Yeah, I found another one.
You found another one. All right. Do you want to help Daddy and put these into the box? Okay. Thank you. All right. Oh. You know how to say you're welcome now too, do you? Ah, the things kids say. Alrighty. Honestly, we have no idea what kids pick up and learn at daycare until they come home and they use it, just in the most random of situations. Now. So, if you have not, so there's 9 responses on the form, right? I'm going to give you a minute right now to get your entry in on that, right? I'm going to have a drink of water. I'm going to clear out some of my windows here on the screen, and then we'll do the draw. Okay, switch hitter, you can go bye-bye. And all right, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Am I accepting responses? No. No more responses. Okay. So we've got some numbers happening here. And let's get random.org happening. Okay. Let's check out the right-hand monitor. Alright. So there is right-hand monitor. We've got Taylor, Rana Ruby, Radon, Doom, Dogspark, the Boom Boy, Mr. Keebs, MFS, Choice Lamb, and Eloy, also known as Granny Gear Killer. And then we've got some numbers pitching anywhere between high levels and not terribly low. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to make that nice and easy. 1 to 9. 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. MFS, are you still here? Tick tock, MFS, are you still here? That's the fridge beeping. If MFS is still here and still checking out the stream, please put up your hand. Now I'm going to wait. Yes, Mike Sampson, MFS, fantastic. Please send me an email to theboardpodcast@gmail.com with your address, with your mailing address, and one of these babies is going to come your way. Now, for the 1 to 1000, it's closest to the number that the generator is going to throw at us. So 1 to 1000. Here we go. 327. Ooh, that seems very close. 377. And 377 is the winner, which is Taylor Rana Ruby. Now, I know Taylor's actually gone, but the difference is I can get hold of Taylor. However, as I said at the start, you kind of have to be here for the draw. So we're going to go with a second number roll. Second number roll. I'm sorry, Taylor. 711. 711. 721. So that is... Oh, it's MFS again. Now, of course, I already said that in the rules. If you've already won it from the first draw, you don't get win it for the second. So, Mike, no 2 badges for you. I can't believe that numerically this is happening. Third draw, 35. So now that Taylor's out and Mike is out, 35 means it is literally the lowest today, and the lowest today is 232. So 232 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Boom Boy. Bam. Well, I know the Boom Boy is right here because they've just said wow. So, Bill, email me your mailing address and I will get that to you as well. theboardpodcast@gmail.com. Yes, you did win. You did. After all of that, the universe came together and said, you get to have a pin. Alrighty. So, that's what's going to be going out to Mike and to Bill once they get me their postal addresses. So I want to say, thank you very much to all of you guys for hanging out with me for the last I don't know, what is it, almost 2 hours? Yeah, an hour and 59. Had lots of fun, built Mintenole, a Kumo, checked out some keycaps, rummaged around in my grab bag, and of course did a giveaway. So this is probably one of the shorter live streams that I've ever done. I do want to sort of say that I'm planning to do another live stream this week, either on Tuesday or Wednesday, because I'm building a custom keyboard for somebody else. And this is really exciting for me because, as far as I'm aware, this is a one-off custom keyboard. This is not like a group buy custom keyboard. This is a one-off, only one in existence custom designed keyboard. Now, if you give me 20 seconds, okay, I'm gonna go grab the two boxes. I haven't actually opened them yet, so I don't even know what it looks like. I'll try and show you the scale of what I'm talking about here. Random keycap that didn't get put into the bag. All right, so the actual owner for this is a chap called William, and William was actually happy for me to live stream it and show it off. So here's a box, which is what I believe is the switches and possibly keycaps in it. I'm not really going to do too much shaking on it because it was sent to me in 2 parts, but the true beefcake is this. It's massive, right? It's massive. It was actually it's been sent from an Asian country of some description, and on this DHL label it says prototyping boards. Now, what is really fascinating about this though is it weighs 4.5 kilos. All right, and I'm not kidding, because if I do my best to cover some pertinent details, okay, the barcodes is not too much of an issue. Shipment weight 4.50 kilos, prototyping boards. Okay, like, whoa. Now, if you don't think that's actually what's in here though, the Australia Post label, because it was sent to me by somebody else in a different state, because they were part of the development for this custom board, but they didn't want to actually build it because they're not really into building it, rather than just like PCB design. So the case was done by somebody else. PCB was done by a different person for a customer, and I'm putting it together for them. The Australia Post label, right? If we get that into screen, it says this whole box is 4.95 kilos, because there is a crazy amount of packaging here to make sure that it's okay. And I just realized that my address probably came up on a very, very small size, but that's okay. If you wanted to dox me and find out where I live, well, it is what it is. So hopefully this week I will find the time on Tuesday or Wednesday, and I will actually put that together live stream as well. Because Tuesday and Wednesday, my daughter, unless if she's sick, please don't be sick, will have daycare, which will give me the ability to set up soldering without her being around and getting in the way and potentially hurting herself. Right. Okay. So we're almost at that 2-hour mark. I want to wrap up there, and of course I need to get on to having a chat and recording a segment for this week's podcast as well very shortly. Thank you for everyone for playing. These are also going to be part of regular giveaways on our podcast. We've already got something going for the month of April, and if you want to get involved with that and find out how you can win one of these pins from our podcast, please tune into our podcast. If you like the kind of stuff that I do here, that we do in the podcast as well, and YouTube channel, please hit that like button, please hit that share button, please hit that subscribe button. If you want to support us, you can buy us a coffee, or you can get involved with Patreon and stuff like that, or like Mitenele does with his very generous pocket and wallet, is to actually send me stuff to look at, review, build, play with, and sometimes keep. So Mitenele, when you get around to checking all of this out, I will make sure that these babies get home to you safe very shortly as well. All right, that's it. I'm done. I'm cooked, done and dusted. Thanks again for checking out the board, and of course, as usual, until next time, happy clacking. And now waiting for the countdown before I can turn it off.